All right, well, that does it for this week's episode of From Art to Atoms. You can't even speak.
The Ultimate Curiosity Show. A sing-song, that one.
I'm going to keep that one.
The Ultimate Curiosity Show. I'm Michael Fultz, and that's Brandon Shoemaker. And please go out into the world today. Smile, be happy,
You
and let technology.
like Kermit the Frog with that.
Did I really?
Yeah. That's Brandon Shoemaker, and I'm Michael the Fultz.
Michael B. Fultz.
The Fultz, like Kermit the Frog.
Oh.
Anyway.
Hidey ho, this is Kermit the Frog here. Piggy.
Kermit.
I'm going to start calling Thomas Piggy in my Kermit voice. He's going to look at me and go, rude. And probably flip me off.
Oh, God. Okay.
My initials, man. My initials.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of From Art to Atoms.
The Ultimate Curiosity Show.
I'm Brandon Shoemaker.
It's Michael Fultz.
And this week we are taking another detour. We have decided at the last minute to change our topic for this episode. And so we came up with the first topic that both of us agreed upon, and that is technology making us dumber?
So I guess the background of this is that 2 years ago, I can not really confront it, but I propositioned my kids and asked them a question, are cell phones or technology, is it making us dumber? Because in my instance that I don't know, like if I had to call my mom right now, I would have to like look at her contact and just press call or audibly tell the phone to call her.
Right.
And I don't know her number offhand. I don't even remember my husband's number offhand.
Mm-hmm.
And I still remember the landline number though from when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So
same.
Right. So that question is like, is technology allowing us to be dumber? Because there are things I remember from my childhood like that, but I can't remember telephone numbers now.
Yeah.
So that's where this is coming from.
So, yeah, and there's an interesting, I don't know if it's necessarily a field of study, but there is interesting research that explores that topic because, at the end of the day, if technology is making us dumber or not, I don't know. That aspect is highly debated, but it's very clear that there are certain aspects of technology that are intended to do certain things for us are making the opposite true.
Right. Well, and so, another question, I guess, think about it this way. As teachers, we see students and the data is showing that we are progressing backwards.
Mm-hmm.
On their ability to read and think critically and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, is that a result of the technology they willed?
I mean, that particularly, I don't think is a result of technology. I think it's a matter of poor teaching practices and this focus that we have, like we've talked on here before about this focus on the test.
Mm-hmm.
And teaching to the test rather than just teaching students to learn. I think that's where this regression that we're seeing is coming from. But another topic for another episode.
Write that down.
I'll add it to the list. But, think about email.
Okay.
I think that's a great example to what we're talking about here because, email, the intention of email is what?
To communicate immediately?
Yeah, ease of communication, immediate communication for the sake of boosting productivity. Okay. How often do you get so inundated with having to read all the emails that you get and respond to them that it actually makes you less productive?
Oh, it's all the time.
Yeah. I have to, I have.
Do you have to manage your time of when you check them?
Yeah. I've made a conscious effort. I check my email first thing in the morning and usually the first half of the day as stuff is coming in, I will read it as it comes in. But yeah, I sit down because I'm fortunate enough I have an administrative period at the beginning of the day for about an hour, and I will sit down, and it takes me, usually depending on the day, it'll usually take me the bulk of that time to go through all the email and read it and respond as necessary.
Yeah.
But
I'm lucky enough, like you're a theater director, so you have a lot more going on there.
Yeah.
Communicate. I don't have that much. So mine really isn't that inundated with stuff.
yeah.
But I do check mine once in the morning and then once in my conference period and then once before I leave.
Yeah, and you know, that's what most people say is the right answer, is to, you know, not try to read email as they come in and respond in the moment and things like that, because you do get inundated with it and thereby less productive on whatever task it is that you're supposed to be doing, rather than just emailing people. And so a few years ago, Cal Newport came out with a book called A World Without Email. And essentially that's what he discusses in that book, that our need to communicate quickly and efficiently is getting in the way of our general productivity in the workplace. And so when I heard him talking about the subject, he was on the Michael Smerconish radio show, and Michael actually pointed out the fact that he had sent an email to Newport and he had to wait a day or more before he got a response, because that's his thing. He
doesn't respond right away.
Yeah, he dedicates a certain time and a certain amount of time to responding to emails, and you know, if it doesn't get done in that allotted time, then it has to wait till the next day. But
yeah, I think that's a healthy balance, though.
Well, exactly.
You have to have that.
Yeah, and I think that's the truth for all of these aspects with technology and the things that we fear about them making us dumber.
Right.
It's just the fact that, you know, like anything else, just like something health related, you know, with like fast food, you know, everything's good in moderation. And I think the same is true of technology. I think one of the biggest time sucks, if you will, is the nature of social media apps with endless scrolling. Because I know we've talked before about how both of us are very much guilty of falling prey to that. And
I mean, you could sit there on your phone, start scrolling, and then 2 hours have passed and you don't realize 2 hours have passed.
Exactly.
And you're just trapped in these little wormholes of time that have been lost looking at dog videos and
okay, well here's the thing. Do you remember before smartphones were as prevalent as they are, do you remember when Wikipedia used to do that to us as well?
Yeah, you go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah. So you would you set out to look up an article, and then you see the little blue hyperlink on something that you aren't familiar with, and you click on that. And then next thing you know, an hour has gone by and you started out researching Catherine the Great.
When you got like 10 tabs open that all lead back to the original article.
I know. Well, you have to, otherwise you forget where you started. Yeah. And now for some reason you're looking at the history of Pez.
Yeah.
So that, in fact, one of my students ages ago, I guess this is probably a wider thing than just him, but he was the first time and really the only time I ever heard about that. But it was a game to him. It was the Wikipedia game. And it kind of like how you remember the game 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. Okay, kind of like that, but with Wikipedia articles.
Yeah,
you know. And so,
is there actually a Wikipedia game? Like, do you think they've actually made this game?
I don't know. Well, I mean, I don't think there's anything that they would need to market for it. But I mean, because you just do it. It's kind of like.
No, but like you could put themes to it or something like that. Like, how many degrees can you get from point A to point B through Wikipedia hyperlinks? You know what I'm saying?
I think we need to research this, and if not, then we need to jump on that ball so that we can make the profit.
But you know what I'm saying? Like you wouldn't really need anything other than just
internet
topics.
access. Yeah.
Like you'd randomly pull a card and let's see how many can you do it in? I can do it in. It's like what they could name that tune in three seconds or whatever it was.
Beats.
Yeah. I can connect these two in 3 links.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
There's a market out there. Okay. So, but yeah, I think that's our biggest problem with technology is just how it can be so all consuming of our leisure time. Well, and sometimes not even our leisure time if we're doing it, you know, during the workday when we're probably not supposed to. But let's talk about that for a second. What is it about the nature of scrolling that causes us, that pulls us in the way it does?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you get like a pleasure, like when you do certain things,
Mhm.
endorphins are released, right? I
Yeah.
don't know if there's an endorphin release because of scrolling, but if you find something that's funny,
Yeah.
you do want to continue, and you're thinking that, and really that's what the algorithm's whole job is for, is to, patch it to something that you like. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, I think you're right, and I think there probably is a certain, endorphin connection to it, but it's definitely
I do know like videos that have like this, okay, guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
I like watching cop videos. I like seeing people get pulled over and then they have to, like, the cop does something to the, or whatever like that. Or like drunk videos where
Yeah.
people are drunk and they have to be pulled over.
like the old show Cops.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And sometimes maybe that's why they make the videos so short, because you have to scroll to the next part if it's going to be a longer video kind of thing. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
But I do know that Thomas loses a lot of time on his social media apps. He'll TikTok for hours.
Yeah, he's talked about that.
He will TikTok for hours. I mean, I usually scroll, like when I go to bed, I'll lay down and I'll scroll, but it doesn't take me long to fall asleep.
Well, and you'll fall asleep scrolling, like with your phone still going, probably, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
My finger's still on a little button or on the screen, and the phone's kind of like off to the side somewhere on my hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there are times with Thomas, I mean, and he doesn't do it at work. I will say that.
Yeah.
But it slows him down. It does.
Yeah.
He's trying to be productive, like getting ready or something like that. He cannot focus on two things at once. And so he'll get trapped in these little wormholes of TikTokdom and he'll lose track of time. And I'm like, dude, we got to be out of here in like 10 minutes. So whenever we're late going somewhere, it's always his fault. Always his fault. And if it's not his fault, what happens is I mentally don't get up purposefully on time.
Yeah.
To make sure that I'm the reason we're late, because I don't want him to feel bad about it. So like, how many times have you come over and we're like ready to go to dinner and then you're waiting on me?
Oh yeah.
That's not because that's by design. That's not because of
okay.
randomness.
Okay.
Because I'm very time conscious.
I know. I'm always like, when I get over there and I'm like,
that's by
design.
design.
I don't care, but like,
I know,
but
I'm telling you, that's by design.
Okay.
I'm thinking about that mentally. Like I'm preparing, like I'm really planning that out in my head.
Okay. Good to know.
Just so you know.
But yeah, I think the scrolling phenomenon is and here's the thing that I've noticed lately. I will frequently scroll with intention. Like, for example, in Instagram, I will try to find, like, I use Instagram for my artwork as well,
right?
In terms of marketing my own artwork and then also getting inspiration.
Right. You have your art page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, to the point where that's the one that I've used predominantly these days. But I will frequently find myself scrolling for a long time trying to find, a particular artist that I like or something. And I know I could just search use the search feature, but a lot of times I don't remember what their exact name is, but I recognize their work. But it'll just keep giving me dog videos, and of course,
nobody's going to turn a dog video down.
No, exactly. But I mean, I don't help the process because I stop and I watch it.
And then the algorithm's like, we have them.
Exactly.
Keep on pumping these boys through. He ended up stopping and looking at this video.
Exactly. And so, then it's like the next painting that I get to, whatever it is, I have to like immediately.
It's like 10 scrolls away.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, yes, that's what I was originally looking for. Like, show me more of that. Oh, no, more dogs. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm there.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
That's like that bearded dragon video we saw last night.
Yeah.
Where that dragon was fond of its sock. And
yeah.
I'll tell you, he was really fond of its sock, right?
Yeah.
It was sleeping with its sock and it was doing other things with the sock.
I've never seen a bearded dragon.
He was so happy with that sock, though, man. I need a bearded dragon like that. Mom just looks at me like I'm crazy. But, so going back to the thing, though, is like technology has helped us. Yeah, I propose this question to my kids, right? And of course, they're on the side of, no, we're getting smarter, and they brought up some valid points. Part of their points were like, so if we're getting dumber, we're the ones that are making the technology and the technology is advancing. So technically we're getting smarter as a human. I'm not going to say they are, but as humans,
Right.
And the other thing, though, is that, and one of the kids brought up a good point. They're like, well, no, we're not getting dumber. Our brains are just being used in different ways, which comes to the plasticity of the brain. It's being rewired differently.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, so I was at the store yesterday and waiting in line at the pharmacy, and there was a lady in front of me, and she pulled off to the side and she got her blood pressure taken, and she had a kid in the basket, and the kid had a cell phone, maybe 2 years old.
Oh, wow.
But knows how to operate a video on a phone.
Yeah.
And can navigate forward, backwards on whatever video or game or whatever like that. And think about that. Us as 2 years old, 40 years ago, I mean, you know, we had things that we pressed buttons and it popped up and scared the crap out of us.
Yeah.
You know, like, remember that old Sesame Street thing that was like numerous, all the characters, and you press the different buttons and
they would pop up. Yeah.
So I'm just thinking, like, you know, our brains are rewired differently now because of technology. And I don't think that we're getting dumber. I think that we're just using them differently.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because I remember when my cousin Emily, when they first had Caroline, the same thing. They would give, her husband John would give Caroline his phone while he was changing her diaper.
Mm-hmm.
And she was just swiping and doing everything at 2 years old.
Yeah, navigating the phone.
And so, you know, I remember when I first saw that, it just struck me like how, number one, how intuitive the iPhone's design is and was, because that is something that just feels natural to, you know, if you want to go that way, swipe the opposite, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, that's something that
so when they get to Twitter, when they're older, they know what to do.
Well, yeah, exactly. But the fact that that's something that they can pick up on, you know.
No, I said Twitter, not Twitter. What is it?
X.
No, not Twitter.
TikTok?
No, what's
Instagram?
What's the one that the dating app? What is that?
Tinder.
Thank you. It was that one.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant Tinder.
No, you thought I meant Twitter.
I mean, yeah, no, I thought you meant
Twitter. No, yeah, Tinder. Sorry.
So the other night I saw a video on Instagram of these people who the caption was they glitched, but basically they were like experiencing spoonerisms that they couldn't get out of. And this is a total sidebar, by the way, but it reminds me of what just happened to me.
Yeah, but I pulled you out of it. So
in other words, shut up and continue with the topic.
Get back on the boat.
Sorry. Okay. Anyway, take all that out since I didn't go anywhere with it.
You don't have to go anywhere with it. Just keep it in.
I know. That's the thing. I'm going to delete it all.
No, keep it in.
Keep it in?
Yes, because that's what people want to hear. They just want to hear us having a conversation.
Oh, I thought you meant keep it in myself and don't speak.
No, keep it in the recording. Keep it in. Like,
anyway, the one that it started with that really got me hooked in was this girl who was trying to say Once Upon a Time, and she kept saying, what was it? Hold on. It's so easy to do a spoonerism, but when you actually stop to think about it and figure out what it is.
Well, define what a spoonerism is.
Oh, that's a good point.
I don't know the English terminology of that.
Sorry. So a spoonerism is where you flip the placement of two sounds is usually two sounds in something that you're trying to say. So, for example...
Oh, okay. So Madeline's dogs were...
Cleo and Biff.
And I used to call them...
Bo and Cliff.
Yes, that.
Yeah, that's a spoonerism.
Okay.
Yeah, but you did that intentionally, though, didn't you? Oh.
Still do it to this day sometimes, too. That's why I had to think about the dogs' names were just now, because I was like, what are their names? And these dogs have been dead for 20 years now, at least. 15 years. I know Cleo died when we were in Tennessee. So, But I had
Boston
before I said something about it, I was like, oh my God, what
that's why you were looking at me. Okay.
Yeah, that's why. Because I still get them.
Yeah, so that's a spoonerism. But yeah, what she was trying to say was Once Upon a Time, and what she was saying was she kept saying Once a Ton of Pine.
So,
and she got locked into it, like she couldn't get it out. Once a ton of pine, once a ton of pine, and it was just a series of videos that were all like that.
Okay, so
different people.
What's the nature of that? Like, is that because your brain is processing faster than your mouth is saying the words?
Yeah, it's like a hang up, and I'm going to get the different areas wrong, but I know Wernicke's area is involved because that's where written language or speech is processed, one or the other. So and the other area that's responsible for the other part is basically where they're not communicating in sync. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But sidebar there.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Nobody knew they were getting a science lesson in on this one.
A science / linguistics / biology lesson.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I'm looking at an article from Scientific American, and one thing that it points out about the whole question of is technology making us dumber is it says it's a mistake to think about the debate as binary in terms of just smart versus
one or the
dumb.
other, right?
Yeah, as if it exists on a single dimension. It says there are very many different types of intelligence that matter, and how technology affects different types also varies considerably. So again, like you were saying with what your kids were talking about, it's just a matter of, and that's one thing that I've heard many people like on the argument who say, no, it's not making us dumber, it's making us smarter. They say that essentially what it's doing is, freeing up our brains from having to memorize mom's phone number
and allowing it to be used for something else.
Exactly. Yeah. Because when you think about it, just basic memory or memorization, for that matter, of facts and things like that is a relatively small portion of what our brain is used for.
Right.
And not as important, in some regards as...
Well, if you think about the brain as a computer, it's freeing up some memory, some RAM, to do other things.
Yeah.
It's like you're kind of putting the mundane things, like remembering a telephone number on a floppy disk.
Yeah.
It's a floppy disk. Like anyone knows what that is. Jump drive.
There you go.
What do we even call them now anymore? Jump
Flash
drives,
drive.
I guess? Yeah. Do they really jump?
Jump was I've always called them jump drives too. Jump was a brand name. Yeah.
Gotcha. I mean, so, it releases that information. It allows the RAM to be used for something else.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that's it just goes back to, one of the many things that makes the human brain such a cool thing to look at and to study, because it can do that. It can operate in that sense, just like a computer, and the plasticity of it, can, reconfigure itself to do other things and things that are more important. Because think about for a second, like back in the Neanderthal days, like what did
life was simpler back then?
For sure. But because of that simplicity, think about how simple the brain was.
Yeah.
And it didn't have to do nearly as much as what our brains have to do now.
My brain didn't have to do nearly as much 20 years ago as my brain does now.
Well, yeah, exactly. And so, but part of that also is just because of age and what we do and what our brains have to do in the working world. But I don't know. My point with that is it's interesting to me to think about, what was the brain doing in that period, when it didn't have as much to do, because I'm sure it was still, just as sophisticated an organ as it is now, but focusing on other things and whatnot.
Well, that just made me think of something. So like we just finished up our evolution unit, right? And we're talking about Darwinism, not Darwinism, blah, blah. But
you could be on that video.
We were talking about just, like some of the theories that Darwin and, oh my goodness, I forget his name. Anyway, he's there, but he's not.
Darwin colleague?
No, before him.
Oh.
Darwin used some of his...
Darwin's predecessor.
Yes.
Okay.
Some of these things, and even when you think of like your scientists who have looked at the solar system and discovered that the sun was not revolving around the earth, but in fact, the earth was revolving around the sun, and stuff that we know as common sense these days.
Yeah.
When those thoughts were revolutionary, like you said, the brain's different from when it was, we were cavemen to now. Even back then, even 400 years ago, stuff that we know of as common sense now, even let's even say 100 years ago, DNA like that, we didn't know. When Mendel came out with his laws of segregation and, all his genetics and stuff like that, all his genetic laws and everything like that, law of independent assortment, they didn't realize what any of that was. They didn't understand that you got your traits.
What any of that is now.
I'm talking about but you understand where you get your traits from.
Yeah.
That's common sense to every single person, hopefully on this planet.
Yeah.
But back then it wasn't.
Yeah.
Like, he was revolutionary in his thinking of that these things came from previous generations.
Yeah.
And when you look at Hook,
Hook?
Robert Hooke,
Oh, I thought you meant
And-
Captain.
what's his first name, by the way?
James,
Is it James Hook?
I think.
Okay.
He's got a middle initial in there too.
Such a common first name. James Kirk, James Hook.
Maybe it's a captain thing.
Ain't that a truth? But when Hook came up with the laws of like the cell, looking at stuff like that, like we know, and I can say, where do cells come from? And everyone says in class, even without me having ever taught it, from other cells. Like they know, hopefully they know that, but they do. They know that cells make other cells.
Yeah.
People make other people. Dogs make other dogs. Like they know that. That's how it works, know? And when you think about when all that was discovered, I guess, or for the first time, people didn't know that.
Yeah.
People didn't know that, And like
Mhm.
Newton, the apple falls down. We have to come up with a law that says the law of gravity, that things will fall down.
Yeah.
Did people not know that? Like it took someone to get hit in the head by an apple
Yeah.
to say, aha, like.
Well, I mean, I think that example, at least, I think people understood that when something is knocked off, it falls down, but they didn't understand why.
Well, think about the, like I said, the solar system, like thinking about
Yeah.
that, like people didn't.
No, the geocentric theory was the prevailing assumption.
Right. Which just, again, I want to look at these people and be like, how stupid could you be? I mean, come on.
Well, that's just like, in probably 100 years from now, people are going to look back at debates like this and think, really, you thought technology was making you dumber? How stupid can you be?
I mean,
Can you be?
we could be pretty damn stupid. I'll admit that.
Yeah.
I do. I admit it. People are stupid. Maybe not me. People are stupid.
No, not you. Never.
I admit that.
Well, but I think so. Okay, let's back up for a second and look at the question itself.
Okay.
Is technology making us dumber? What are we classifying as dumb in that situation? Is it just the simple, because it's not a matter of ability. If I told you, look at your mother's phone number and memorize it, you could do that.
I thought you was going to say, look at your mother.
But like that makes, I mean, you could do that easily, right?
I have tried memorizing Thomas's number and I cannot do it for the life of me.
I think, but see, that's the thing. I think that is more just a matter of knowing that you don't have to.
No, I did have to at some point.
Oh.
And I don't remember it.
Well, teaching theater, memorization is more like something that comes
But
naturally and essential. But
I do know, like, my social security number. I do know that.
well,
And
yeah,
I
but you've
also-
known that since before technology.
Right. But I also know Marcel's.
Well, you probably knew that since before technology.
I had to because they used to mix mine and hers up all the time. So, and we're only 4 digits off.
But that goes back to, knowing your landline as a kid.
Right.
I'm talking about like, I don't know what's wrong with you and not being able to memorize Thomas's number.
Look, I don't have a good memory to begin with. We already know this. We know I don't
Well, that's
remember plot lines of movies. I don't know, all that stuff.
That's true. That's true.
So I'm a bad example.
Okay. Well, okay. So for example, like I probably should have your phone number memorized.
Yeah, since it hasn't changed in years, and neither has yours.
No.
And I know yours
Oh, you
because I
do?
knew yours before that.
Oh, before you had a smartphone.
Yep.
Yeah.
Madeline's number. I know Madeline's number. She's had her number for the past 20 something years. I know her
okay.
number by heart still too.
Yours was, I just know isn't it 1908?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
had to think about
You
what that
had to
meant.
stop and think.
No, I was thinking about what that noise was. I was like, there's a rumbling noise.
Oh.
My headphones. What is that? It was a truck passing by.
No, but like I know that, but I don't know what your prefix is.
Do you know the area code?
Yeah.
What?
Well, 504.
That's
'cause-
right, baby. We the original 504s.
Yeah. But yeah, if actually, I mean, obviously, I'll take this out. Is it 568?
No,
Am I close?
no.
Oh.
It's not a 5
Okay.
or a 6 or an 8.
Okay.
So you're not close at all.
Okay, never mind then. Well, at least I don't have to take it out now. Okay. He just showed me with his fingers what that sounded weird.
And I was using that one middle finger to show you all the digits. That's why it took us so long.
So for me, my brain works in a highly visual capacity. And so when you did that just now, did you see that after you showed that to me, I stopped and I looked up to the right or to the left or whatever?
Registering it.
I was right. But you know how I was registering it?
No.
I was visualizing
on the dial pad?
I was visualizing it.
Okay.
And so, but that's how my brain and my memory work is through visualization. Like, and that's the topic for legit another
learning styles.
Well, no, not that. We need to add that. That's legit another topic for an episode at some point, because that has to do with something called synesthesia. That
I have a synesthesia every night.
Assuming that it's what?
Hmm?
What kind of synesthesia do you have every night?
Every night when my husband starts talking to me about books, I go into a seizure, a synesthesia.
No, not what that means. But anyway, like I said, that's a topic for another episode. Back on topic, when you think about how our brains work and the fact that technology has given us the opportunity to use our brains in different ways, mm-hmm. I think that you can definitely say that it is not making us dumber, but it's making us smarter in a different way.
Yep.
Oh, here the Scientific American article brings up another point about relying on GPS. Remember when we used to have maps?
Yeah.
So in our early adulthood, we had MapQuest, which you had to print out mm-hmm. maps and directions for, which was like a huge advancement.
Especially because that was a huge pain in the butt, because sometimes the map directions were like 3 and 4 pages long.
Oh yeah, it was a pain, but it was better than having to just read the map as you drove down the road, like we had to, or well, not so much.
Well, that's what our parents
had to do. And
that's why you need a navigator.
Oh yeah, no, I used to love being the navigator because that's how I learned how to read a map.
Yeah, that's how you need a navigator.
But anyway, that's another example that this gives. Is that
speaking of navigators, he's down there. If no one knows this, Brandon takes this dog everywhere. Like, this dog goes everywhere, and he will not take him into the stores and stuff like that. He does take him to Lowe's.
Well, it depends, because he doesn't like to go into the stores. Really,
he just wants to go for the RIDE, and we have to spell it because that dog knows what that word means if we say it out loud, and he'll get all excited. And we are not doing that tonight. It is too cold outside.
Yeah, no. But yeah, I do. I take him everywhere with me, and he just sits on my leg and rides like a human with his little paw up on the door.
Yeah,
on the door handle.
You need to teach the dog how to read a map. He could be your navigator.
Yeah, but he won't sit in the passenger side.
Don't need to.
Anyway, but yeah, so GPS is another example of that.
While you're looking up really fast, I'm going to go ahead and throw this on the side. Also, while we're talking about Luca is going to be a thespian, or is right now. We can talk about this really fast. Total sidetrack, but while it's on my mind, I'm going to say it. So Brandon is doing a competition piece of Mice and Men, and for a while now he's been looking for a dog, and he was going to use Duke, my beagle, but after the first time Duke went out there and he pooped on the stage, or was it on the stage? Or
not on the stage, it was over in the aisle.
Oh, even worse, on the carpet.
Yeah.
When he did that, I was like, you can't bring him up there. He's going to stink out the entire auditorium.
The kids did a good job of cleaning it up, though. There was no smell afterwards. I was impressed.
Well, learn their technique, because
right.
And so then we were looking at Kenzie's dog, his assistant director's dog, and that one wasn't going to work out either. And so now we are at Brandon's dog himself, Luca, who honestly, of the 3 dogs, is probably the most people scared of the 3.
It's terrified.
Yes, of other people.
Not
but,
in terms of like I'm going to bite you kind of way, but I'm just going to sit here and shake incessantly.
which is perfect on the stage.
Like
That's exactly what you want him to do. So
exactly.
It's like what you said the other day. He's method acting.
Exactly. A little bit of context. If you're not familiar with The Dog and Of Mice and Men, there's an old dog and there's this big debate about, oh, well, you need to put the dog down and all this sort of stuff. And so eventually the character Candy agrees and gives him to the other character to take out back and shoot him.
Yeah.
And so, you have to have a live dog on stage for it. And so Luca, bless his heart, yeah, he looks like he's method acting there, because I swear every time that they mention I'd shoot him right there in the back of the head, he looks at them like he knows exactly what they're meaning. And then he looks out at me like, Dad, what's going on? What?
Okay, back to Scientific American.
To Scientific American.
I just wanted to give a shout out to Luca for being a thespian. Finally.
He is earning his thespian points.
Y'all should induct him into the National Thespian Society.
Oh, well, he won't have enough points just from this one show. Oh, wait, but going to competitions and clinics, yes, he will.
Y'all should do it, and if not, do an honorary member.
Yep. He will have enough points though. We're going to start a point sheet for you.
He's like, I don't want trophies. I want treats. Give me my bacon strips and my pepperonis.
Oh, we need to give him a treat that's shaped like, or a bone that's shaped like a treat. I mean, no, a bone that's shaped like a trophy.
Aren't all bones shaped like treats?
I don't know. Maybe I need to be on that video now. Okay. So... Okay, well, the Scientific American article kind of ends by saying, yes, it is making us dumber. So I don't want to...
Well, okay, no, wait. That's okay. That's okay. Look, tell us why. Tell us why they come to that conclusion.
Okay, listen, it says...
I mean, we can't rule them out just because they disagree with what we're saying.
So the last paragraph says, the internet promised the Library of Alexandria at our fingertips, delivered instantaneously whenever and wherever we like. It delivered that and much, much more. One might describe the exchange in Faustian terms as trading one's soul for knowledge, putting aside concerns about what's been lost, our soul, humanity, etc. It's not even clear that the promised knowledge was delivered. To make matters worse, evaluating the Faustian bargain is even more difficult when the intellectual capabilities required to do so seem to be waning, at least for many of us. So, they are essentially saying that, we've traded our soul for this access to knowledge and communication and the knowledge, quote unquote. And now, granted, think about how many times now we have to do fact checking on things that we find on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, they that does raise a good point there as well. Ultimately, it's and this is an older article. This was published in 2018. God, and so it's got a certain perspective there as well, just given its time frame. But I mean, those are good points to that end. It's not just a matter of now we have more synapses that we can do other things with. There is a certain...
Everybody.
Yeah. Well, and two, if we are spending that time that we've saved just scrolling and looking at dog videos and cat videos, we're not...
using that free bandwidth for anything worthwhile.
No, yeah. But at the same time, though, I mean, the internet is there as well, certainly for entertainment.
Hey, look, if it makes you happy...
It's not like that's a bad thing. I mean, now granted, yeah, sometimes there are exceptions to this, but usually when we are scrolling on the phone, is it time that we're supposed to be doing something else? Or is that time that we had already kind of set aside to do something entertaining, be it watch a movie or whatever?
Okay.
What?
I don't do this.
Okay.
I'm a get in, get out kind of guy.
Okay. Oh, are you talking about like in the bathroom?
Yes, Thomas does. You do too. When y'all are going to the bathroom, and it doesn't matter what you're like, one or two, Thomas will be in there for 25 minutes.
Oh, no. If I'm going number one, I'm in and out.
Okay. Well, it doesn't matter for him.
Oh, okay.
25 minutes because he'll
scroll?
Yes.
While he pees?
Yes.
Okay.
He scrolls when he goes to the bathroom. And so he's in there for like 25 minutes. And I'm like, dude, It doesn't take that long to go to the bathroom.
Okay, so what's your final thought on?
I'm gonna agree with you. And my kids, I'm gonna agree with them. I don't think that we're getting, almost it's stupider, dumber, dumber.
Okay, Moira Rose.
I think that we are using our brains for other things. I think that, we're navigating a whole new world in the advent of technology when you think about that. And on the scale of technology, we are looking at computer boards and microchips and stuff like that. And we're making these things, and we're navigating so much more in the way that the world has evolved with the invention of technology, that we're just using them in different ways. So I don't think we're getting, almost it's stupid, or getting dumber. Do I think we're smarter? I don't think we're getting any smarter. I think we're getting smarter on some things, and we're getting dumber on some things. So it's a wash.
Okay. That's kind of what I was going to say, is that I think it's not making us any dumber, but it is kind of a wash, that ultimately it's not doing this huge dramatic thing towards making us smarter either.
Mm-hmm.
It's just allowing us to do things differently.
Yep.
And, because if you think about all the different things that technology does for us that we've talked about, GPS, Google, all the things that technology can do for us, we use it to that end. But, with the time saved, with the bandwidth, as you said earlier, freed up, we're not really doing anything more productive, certainly.
Right.
So it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. I think, we have, it's a fairly even trade-off.
Right.
And ultimately, if you just look at the advancements of technology just over the past 50 years, which, and, brace yourself, thinking about the past 50 years means from less than 10 years before we were born.
Mm-hmm.
Technology has grown by leaps and bounds in that very short amount of time. We went from computers taking up an entire room to holding them in the palm of our hands now, and with touchscreen technology, nanotechnology itself, doing all these things on a literal microscopic scale is huge.
Yeah.
And I think, when you look at it from that perspective, is technology making the individual dumber? Maybe there's an argument to be made for that.
Some individuals.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. I think there's an argument to be made for that, and that it depends on the person. But technology, by and large, on the large scale, has made humanity 10 times more intelligent, and even is an exhibit of that intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, technology in terms of the human scale challenges us because, think about it. We're always looking for the next best, greatest tech gadget or whatever.
Yeah.
Technology challenges us to think outside the box, and to think, in terms of advancement and how to improve upon things. And so, like I said, at the end of the day, I do think it's kind of a wash. We're no dumber for technology, but we're also not drastically smarter as individuals.
Yes.
But it is an exhibit or a testament to the growth of humanity on the large scale.
Yep.
All right. So for tonight's trivia, do you want to ask me first?
No, ask me first.
Okay. What topic do you want?
Just surprise me.
Okay.
But don't be surprised me too difficult. Surprise me.
How about an entertainment? What 1978 movie was hyped, "You'll Believe a Man Can Fly"?
Oh, Superman.
Yeah. Subtitle?
The motion picture?
The movie, yeah. Or was it the movie or the motion picture? Hold on.
No, it's Superman the movie.
Yeah, the movie. It didn't say in here.
Well, the movie coming out this summer, their tagline is "Look Up."
Oh, for the new one?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I think because they're all trying to harken back to that original tagline that was so good. All right. Number 2, what star of Jerry Maguire and As Good as It Gets had his first movie role as a kid in the barbershop in Eddie Murphy's Coming to America?
Is that Cuba Gooding Jr.?
I think so. Let's see. Oh, that's the wrong page. I flipped and it said
Tom Cruise was not a kid at that point.
No, I flipped and it said Kate Bush, and I was like, what?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Yes, it was Cuba Gooding Jr.
Okay.
What 2006 thriller starring Samuel L. Jackson caused controversy by being released without any advanced screenings for critics?
What year?
2006.
Kill Bill.
No, I was thinking that first. I don't think he was actually in Kill Bill. He was the star of this one.
I don't know.
Snakes on a Plane.
Oh.
Yeah,
Does anybody remember that at all?
got it. I never saw it because, well, for obvious reasons.
You don't like snakes.
Nope. All right, number 4. What TV show's tough guys drink scotch at the Bada Bing? Oh.
Am I going to get this one?
Probably not. I don't think you watched it.
Is it a TV show?
Uh-huh. It's off the air now, but it was huge when it was on the air. HBO.
Sopranos?
Yes. Number 5. What do Brad Pitt and Edward Norton shoot at factories while drunk in Fight Club?
Bows and arrows.
Golf balls.
That was
didn't remember
close.
that. What charismatic British rock star, once known as the Thin White Duke, fronted a band called the Spiders from Mars?
What?
Okay, that's who I thought it was, but you won't get that, I don't think. What British rock star, once known as the Thin White Duke, fronted a band called the Spiders from Mars? If you think about his songs or one of his songs,
I have
it
no idea.
connects. David Bowie.
Okay.
Yeah.
They could have said Pale Ale. I would have got it then. But the Big White Duke, I mean, I'm thinking of like John Wayne or something like that.
Pale Ale?
Yeah, because
They
that
call
was
him
David
that too.
Bowie, like really, really pale.
Pale, yeah.
Yeah.
In honor of tonight's topic, give me science and nature.
I'm not going to be able to read this. I don't have my glasses on.
Oh, God. I've got my dad's readers.
No, I'm okay. I
Okay.
just have to put the flashlight on.
Oh.
How many moons does Mars have?
Oh.
And I give you a science question.
Oh, shoot.
Come on, you know this one.
2.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, it
I
is.
was going to say it's a number.
Okay.
You know this. You got it. It's a number. Yeah, 2. What is the more colorful alternative name for the square-lipped rhinoceros?
The square-lipped rhinoceros?
Yes.
The more colorful term?
Yes. The more colorful alternative term or name for the square-lipped rhinoceros.
The purple rhinoceros?
No, there's no purple rhinoceros out there.
I know. I don't know.
It's the white rhino.
Oh. Okay. I thought that was just an albino rhino.
No, they don't have pink eyes.
Oh, okay. But
What?
apparently it's got square lips.
Yeah. What natural phenomenon can be spherical, donut-shaped, or like parachutes according to their size?
What?
What natural phenomenon can be spherical, donut-shaped, or like parachutes according to their size?
Like parachutes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here's where my brain is going. One of a couple of things. Galaxies,
Nope.
cells,
Nope.
or molecules.
Nope. Natural phenomenon. You just named things. Natural phenomenon.
Oh.
These things have 3 shapes.
Spherical.
Donut-shaped or like parachutes. Based on their size, their shape is determined based on their size.
Natural phenomenon. Okay, now I'm wanting to think like, the aurora or something.
No.
Spherical. What's naturally spherical? Orbits?
Nope.
What?
Raindrops.
Oh. Okay. Donut shaped. Okay.
I've never seen a donut-shaped raindrop, but then again, I'm not up there looking. The minute you look at a raindrop, what happens to you?
You get wet.
Yeah, your eyes get. I don't like water in my eyes. You know that. What movie award appears in the International Radio Alphabet?
What
movie award appears in the International Radio Alphabet?
Oscar?
Yes.
Yeah.
What birds do Chinese and Japanese fishermen commonly use?
What birds do they use?
Yep.
Fishermen?
Yes. What birds do Chinese and Japanese fishermen commonly use?
As bait?
It doesn't specify. It could be as a sign of something in the water.
Oh, I picked the wrong topic tonight. A crane?
No, cormorants.
What?
Cormorant.
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 Never even heard of that.
Look it up real fast. Let's see. What is the common name for the fruit Citrus grandis?
A grapefruit?
Yep.
Yeah. Big citrus. Cormorants. It looks like a black crane or something. Or...
Okay, I'm going to give you one more since we didn't know what the hell that was. What animal has the highest blood pressure?
Ooh. Elephant?
No, you would think so, but no.
Don't tell me it's the human.
It's not.
The giraffe.
Yes, because think about what blood pressure is.
Yeah. It takes a lot to get up that neck.
Yep. And back down.
All right. Well, that does it for this week's episode of From Art to Atoms.
Sorry. The Ultimate Curiosity Show.
I thought you were sitting there just staring at me, waiting on me to do the end.
No. I was going to say something else, but I completely forgot that you were waiting for me to say that. And then I almost started saying that other thing, and I was like, oh, crap. Okay, anyway.
Oh, you tried to do the outro by memory for a second?
No. It's
what
already
other
pulled up.
thing?
I was just like, something tie into the topic or something like that.
Oh. All right, let's try that again.
No, leave that in.
Well, that's going to be our cold open. That's why.
Let it be the cold ending, too.
It's too cold in here for that. Well, that does it for this week's episode of From Art to Atoms.
The Ultimate Curiosity Show.
Thanks so much for listening, and we hope you enjoy your week and use technology wisely.
Make people smile.
Have a good week, everybody.
Bye. You've been listening to From Art to Atoms, The Ultimate Curiosity Show, episode number 24. Your host are Brandon Shoemaker and myself, Michael Fols. The show is produced by Brandon Shoemaker and is available on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, or wherever you get your podcast. Be sure to subscribe to the show to stay up to date on all of our latest episodes and news. If you have any questions, feedback, or suggested topics you would like for us to dive into, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can email us at FromArtToAtoms@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you, and we value your input. Don't forget to follow us on social media to stay updated on upcoming episodes and behind-the-scenes content. You can find us on Instagram and YouTube at From Art to Atoms. If you enjoyed today's episode, please take a moment to rate and review us on your favorite podcast platforms. Your support helps us reach even more interested minds like yours. Thanks for tuning in, and stay curious, everyone.
I'm still trying to figure out how fishermen use cormorants. Oh, here we go. A Chinese fisherman with his 2 cormorants. Humans have used cormorants fishing. Oh, in a common technique, a snare is tied near the base of the bird's throat, which allows the bird only to swallow small fish while the bird captures and tries to swallow a large fish. The fish is caught in the bird's throat. When the bird returns to the fisherman's raft, the fisherman helps the bird to remove the fish from its throat. Ew. The method is not as common today since more efficient methods of catching fish have been developed. No shit. But it's still practiced as a cultural tradition.
Good for them.